Have you ever wondered about the weirdest and most bizarre events in history? Join me on a journey as we unravel the Synod. In the history of the Vatican, strange events have occurred in every era. For instance, in 897 AD, Pope VI, Stephen wanted to trial his predecessor, Pope Formosus. However, when this trial took place, Formosus had been dead for a year, and what was being judged was the corpse of Formosus. He accused Formosus of falsely swearing, illegally ascending to the papacy, and unlawfully presiding over multiple bishoprics simultaneously. At the end of the trial, Formosus was declared guilty and his papacy was retroactively invalidated. Church authorities removed Formosus's corpse from the burial site and brought it to court. Stephen tried to discredit Formosus, accusing him of being an unworthy usurper of papal attire. In the end, Stephen won the case against a man who couldn't defend himself. Before throwing Formosus's decaying corpse into the Tiber River, authorities cut off 3 of his fingers. This trial marked the beginning of the end for Pope VI, Stephen. Like the video while I move on to the next one. Austrian army accidentally fought itself. In 1788, Austria found itself in the midst of a war with the Ottoman Empire. The Battle of Karansebes became quite peculiar as the Austrian army accidentally fought itself. As the Austrian army advanced near the town of Karansebes at night, cavalry and infantry, after drinking wine and getting drunk, started fighting each other. Drunken soldiers shouted that the Turks were shooting at them as a joke, but some believed it to be true. Soon, the army's orderly march turned into chaos and panic, leading to conflicts along the way. At dawn, the Austrian army suffered thousands of casualties without being near the Turkish forces. There were probably around 10,000 dead and wounded. Emperor Mansa Musa was so wealthy that the value of gold in Egypt dropped when he arrived in Cairo. Mansa Musa, who ruled the Mali Empire in the 14th century, had immense wealth due to gold and salt reserves in his country. In 1324, Emperor Musa set out on a pilgrimage to Mecca. While passing through Cairo, Musa and his entourage astonished the Egyptians with their wealth. Musa and his retinue spent their wealth freely in Cairo, causing the value of gold in the city to decline for over 10 years. Conquistador discovered platinum, but didn't understand its value. First, let's provide a brief explanation of what a conquistador is. A conquistador is a term given to Spanish soldiers, explorers and adventurers who invaded large parts of America between the 15th and 19th centuries, bringing them under Spanish colonial rule. When the Spaniards went to America, one of the most important resources they sought was gold. In the 16th century, when the Spaniards encountered platinum, their obsession with gold made them indifferent to other valuable resources. A noteworthy event occurred on the 50th anniversary of the American Declaration of Independence. July 4th, 1826, was an important day for the United States as it marked the 50th anniversary of declaring independence from the British Empire. However, it was also a dark day for the nation because both John Adams and Thomas Jefferson passed away on the same day. Both had served as presidents and contributed to the Declaration of Independence. Roman Emperor Commodus gathered all disabled people in the empire to Rome and made them fight to the death in the Colosseum. During the American Civil War, 2.5% of the American population died. Of the 10 wars with the most deaths in world history, 7 took place in China. Mexican General Santa Anna held a grand funeral for the leg he lost during the America-Mexico War. Poems and epics were written to inspire the public about Anna's lost leg during the war. In the Laotian rebellion that occurred in 755 AD in China, more than 30 million people lost their lives, a number equivalent to 1/6 of the world population at that time. The Laotian Rebellion was a widespread uprising against the Tang dynasty of China in the year 755 AD. Initiated by the rebels under the leadership of An Lushan, he declared himself ruler of the Yan dynasty, and the rebellion persisted from 755 to 763 AD. The uprising resulted in significant collapses in China's governance. known as Med Peter, had the heads of his wife and lover cut off after having them executed. He preserved the severed heads in a jar filled with alcohol in his wife's room. In 1487, during ceremonies at Aztec temples, over 20,000 people were sacrificed. In the Middle Ages, animals were judged and sometimes sentenced to death. In the 1800s, due to uncertainty about whether people were truly dead, coffins were equipped with bell mechanisms. If the buried person was not dead, they could ring the bell upon waking. In ancient Egypt, when a ruler died, all assistants and animals were buried alive with him. The last king of the Egyptian monarchy, King Farouk, ascended to the throne at the age of 16 after his father's death and gained full authority at the age of 18. However, his reluctance to intervene in government affairs and personal issues in his life led to criticism among the public. King Farouk was known for his luxurious and extravagant lifestyle. He had an obsession with pickpocketing and attempted to carry out this obsession several times at grand balls. Once, he stole a watch from Winston Churchill's pocket. When caught, he claimed to have found the watch on the floor. After being dethroned following the 1952 Egyptian Revolution, Farouk spent the rest of his life in exile and died in Rome, Italy, in 1965. In 1807, during a hunting trip in Poland, Napoleon encountered a large herd of rabbits. Unexpectedly, the rabbits behaved aggressively, advancing towards Napoleon and his soldiers. This situation made Napoleon feel in a comical and strange predicament. It must have been a great humiliation for Napoleon. When thinking of ancient Egypt, one of the first rulers that comes to mind is Cleopatra, who was originally Greek. Despite being born in the city of Alexandria in Egypt, Cleopatra's family belonged to the Ptolemaic dynasty, which had Greek origins. Although Cleopatra was born in Egypt, her family embraced Greek culture, and she spoke Greek. Therefore, Cleopatra is considered of Greek origin. The unfortunate king of the French Revolution, King Louis XVI, was visited by a strange foreigner in his childhood. The man wanted to warn this young king. He told him that the number 21 would be dangerous for him, and that he wanted to be with him every 21st of the month throughout his life to protect him. However, Louis disliked the man and had him thrown out of the palace. At the last moment, as the man was being taken away, he shouted, "The number 21 will kill you." Many years later, the revolution erupted. As the king and queen fled, they were captured in the forest of Varennes on June 21, 1792. The Revolutionary Council abolished the monarchy on September 23rd, declaring the Republic, and on January 21, 1793, King Louis XVI was executed by guillotine. If you want more videos like this, follow and hit the like button.